Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin. Before we jump into the analysis, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description below you'll find a link to the Discord. Why not come check it out? It's free to join. Once in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff, we'll be happy to help you out. Okay, so let's get into this. There's a few ways we're looking at this. So unfortunately, there is a few ways we can count this. So we can argue that there's been a triangle here and that our fifth wave's completed here. And effectively, we are looking for this orange fourth wave to play out, in which case we would be looking for a move down potentially to this zone of this 2127 all the way down to this sort of 19719. So we've been talking about this channel for a while as well, and the potential of coming back and back testing either the top end of this or the bottom end of this one. There's two ones that have been drawn here. So basically, it is possible that we could actually look to come back and back test this. If we do look to back test this, it could potentially bring us down to this 20,675, in which case we'd be looking for, like I said, this as a fourth wave move into here. So this is still a possibility, and we could then still see that push to the upside for a fifth to this 2617 to this 24801. So this scenario would be looking at this as completed here and then looking for this fourth wave. However, it is also possible that we're still within this third wave, and what we would be looking for then is either that we have an extension and this fifth wave is actually having a flat correction here as a fourth, so an A, B, C, so 3, 3, 5 as a running flat, and then we could actually potentially look to progress to the upside. So the thing with this is we'd have to look at it in one of two ways if this is the case. Let me just turn this one on. This is looking for a different potential, but we'll talk about that in a second. But the second half of this is much the same. So what we'd have to argue is either we are following the yellow count or the orange count. So if we're following the yellow count, what we would then be looking for here is basically to see this play out as a 1, 2, 3 up to this area here of this 23,749 as a typical third wave, a fourth wave down, and then looking to push up into this zone of this 23,951 to this 23,825. So we don't have enough structure here on the other end of this to sort of plot the subwaves, but this would be what we'd be looking for. And then what that would basically indicate is that we could have a series of 1s and 2s here, where this is a 1, 2, this is a 1, 2, then basically this would become a 3, we'd get a fourth and a fifth, then we'd get an additional fourth and a fifth within this structure, and then that could actually look to take us up into this red box zone that we were talking about, this 25,036 to this 24,362, and potentially looking to challenge the top of this channel one more time. So this is something that could play out. The other way we can look at it is the orange count, and if I come in here, we can see we can argue that this is a diagonal here where we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as an expanding diagonal, and then basically that we're looking for this wave 2. This wave 2 might not be completed. If I throw this on here, we can see that the 1-to-1 would actually bring us down lower to this 22,864, and then if this extends slightly, we'd be looking towards this 22,789 to this 1.618 area, but we wouldn't really want to cross that, otherwise it becomes more probable we are actually in a bearish count that we'll go over in a second. But effectively we could come back down into this blue box area, this 22899 to this 22668. so if we do play this out like this, I've worked this off of this 618 line. Effectively a move up past this 24,115 would actually indicate that we would have a bigger 5-wave structure here. And then we could look at this as a diagonal for 1, 2, then we get this third, fourth, and a fifth push to the upside. Roughly speaking, we could look to potentially come back down to this 23,618 as a fourth wave. And then looking to push up, we could look to target out this higher range here of this 24,457 to this 24,254. So this could be something that actually plays out if we start to get impulsive structure here to the upside. And like I said, my box that I'd be looking for would be this red one here, this 2536, 225,036 to this 24,362. So this would be an area we could look to actually target out. So that's just something that we need to bear in mind. If we do get a bigger move here though, and we actually move past this 24,970, then we can actually argue that we're still within this green fifth wave and it's actually extending in itself. And potentially this would then become our end point for our green fifth, and then we would be looking for this retracement as a fourth. So we just need to give it a bit of time here and see how we react. Today is going to be quite important. Obviously, we've got the FOMC today, so we need to just see what happens with that. But if we do move to the upside, potentially we could come up and look to retest this channel line, and we could look for this potential impulsive structure here, and then look for a fourth wave to the downside. So we just need to see how we react around these zones before we can get a better idea of what is going on. So yeah, so basically there's the other alternatives to this is looking at this move as a if we look at this move as actually completed here as a triangle and a fifth, effectively what we'd have within here is the potential that we could look to break down. So we were plotting this out yesterday as a 5-wave move, and we did come down into the zone, but the problem is now this has gotten too big in my opinion for a fourth wave. We were looking at this as a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, but now this fourth has gotten quite large, so I'm not really favoring it as a fourth wave. We can argue that it is, but it is quite big in relation to the wave 2. So I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm still got it on the chart here. We'll see how it reacts. But if this is playing out effectively, would be expecting a push down towards this 22 3 11 to this 22,010. So this is something we could actually see play out if we do actually start to break down, you know, where we form this as a 1 2 1 2, and then we start to actually break down. It's possible we could be looking at something like this playing out. So that's the one option of looking at this as a breakdown. The thing is with this is whether we want to count this as a completed 5-wave move here and we have a deeper potential to break down, or we want to just look at this as we could either look at this as an A, B, and a C that'll come down, or if we do complete this 5th wave here, then we could look for a retracement and then continuation. Because if we complete here, it is possible that we form a zigzag down for this 4th wave here, or a more complex structure where we form something like this as an A, a B, a C, we form another connector wave, and then we get another zigzag, something like that. Also a WXY sort of pattern to the downside, where we could actually look to break down towards this zone that we were looking at in this green box, which is, like I said, this 21,927 to this 19,719. So this is just one of the possibilities here. If we do start to break down, my preferred way of looking at this is actually to say that we've completed. So if I just turn this on. So we're talking about the potential that we could look at this as a flat completed here. Alternatively, this could be getting more complex, and we could be in this option where we actually have completed into this point and we're actually looking for that biggest 4th wave right now. In which case, what we could have is also something like this, where we form this either as a W, an X, and we're going to get a Y wave to the downside, or this whole move becomes an A wave, we get a push up for a B, and then we actually break down for a C. So this is the important zone here for this. This would be this 23,641 to this 23,218. If we actually face rejection within this zone again, it is possible that we can look for this C wave to complete to the downside. So this C wave would be a 5-wave move if this is the case. If it's a 3-wave move, then it would be a WXY. So we've got to give it some time to see how it actually progresses. The thing is with this move is it wouldn't be its lower range wouldn't be very sort of, so a 1-to-1 would actually only bring us back down to this 22,451. So it is possible that we get some extension in here if this is playing out, and actually we look to break down. into this zone here. So it is also possible that this C wave isn't completed as well, and that this is just the first leg of it, where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So the way that that would happen, if I turn on this, there we go, is we can potentially look at this zone here as either a completed move into here for a 2, because we've actually come up to that 50% line already. So it is possible that this could be completed. Alternatively, we could get this play out like we're talking about with the, actually, let me turn it on for a second. So we could see something like this play out, where we get this as a more complex structure to the upside, and we could potentially move as high as this 23,685. And the way we'd be looking at that is this is a W and X and a Y to the upside. Then we could have this as a corrective pattern here. The support zone for this would be this 22,905 to this 22,671. So like I said, there is a few ways of looking at this move currently. So we can, even if we're looking at it as a diagonal, this could just have a connector wave here, and we just form a 1-to-1 move to the upside, which depending on on how low we go. So this orange line here is a 1-to-1 of this A wave here. So if we do come down towards that, it would actually tie in with actually revisiting this zone here, and then we could look for a 1-to-1 to actually bring us up to this 23,690, so we can see this green line. So this is a possibility. We can still see a push up, but I would be very cautious in this zone of this 23,641 to this 23,218. Like I said, we're already getting rejection off this a few times. If we start to move away now, then it would be possible that we either have this playing out, like I said, as a 1-2, and then we're actually going to look to break down deeper. The confirmation of this as a 5-wave move would only come by pushing down past this 21,063, in which case we'd be looking for an additional 4th and a 5th, which could actually look to push us down towards this 20,880 to this 20,579. So this would actually put us in the zone of this previous 4th wave. So I'm quite liking this idea, to be honest with you, that we're still within a flat correction here. But it has to prove itself. We need to see this play up as an either we need to break down now and start to move impulsively and move towards this 21 and 63, or alternatively we get this corrective structure up here, just as an ABC or WXY into this zone of this red box, and then actually look to break down further. So this is just basically one of the options. The thing that would be interesting about this, if we throw a fib onto this, is if I just get this on the high point here. So we can see a 2.618 of that A wave would actually bring us into this zone here of this 2189. And then if we do have any further extensions, this 3.618 actually lies on the bottom of this move, of this bottom of this 4th wave over here. So it could be something that we actually look to come down and retest. So if we do extend down here, this 3618 might be an interesting area to get a reaction. Though, as we said before, we'd have to be careful, because if this does develop as a 5-wave move, this could also be the start of a move to the downside. So we'd have to just wait for that confirmation of this 5th wave. If we fail to develop this 5th wave, like we said before, this could just be a 3-wave move to the upside, and then actually we're going to look to break down lower. So we'll have to plot that as it goes, but this is just one of the dangers if we fail to develop this 5th wave to the upside. So if we do actually push back down into this zone, effectively we could get a 5th wave push up to this 26,076 to this 24,655. So this is a zone that we could actually look to revisit. There's a lot of possibilities, I appreciate that, but at the moment there is a lot of uncertainty on this, and I'm just trying to give you all the possibilities, especially with the FOMC coming out. You know, if we do start to push up, we have our resistance zone. If we do break this low and move down lower, then it's possible that we could just have a different structure here. So this could also, like I said, be a WXY like this, where this is a this is a W, this is an X, and we get a Y wave like this. as a fourth wave. If this is the case, what we could do look is for the same sort of idea as we have with that 5-wave move, except that we're going to only get a zigzag here, where this is an A, a B, and a C. So if that's the case, it could be quite an interesting scenario. Like I said, we could actually complete into this high point because we've actually come up to that zone already. And if that is what's playing out, what we could see is something play out like this, where we actually move down in this channel, and we could look to actually see that 1-to-1 come in somewhere along this channel. Let's have a look and see where it would be. So a 1-to-1 would have to move us a lot more sideways, but we could potentially look to actually come in and set this this 1-to-1 to the downside, something like this. So this is just one of the potentials. It is possible that this moves up some more, like I said, into this rejection area as a WXY, and then it actually changes the shape of this slightly, and we get a more sideways move like this. Or alternatively, if we do start to break down now, like we were talking about with that 5-wave move, if we fail to reach that 1.618 area, which is this 21,063, effectively then we could just form something like this as a corrective structure, and this could just all be part of this correction here as a W, X, and a Y, and then potentially we could look to rally for that 5th wave from this point. If we did have to come down to this 1-to-1, we'd have to argue that our 5th wave would potentially take us up to this zone here of this 25,347 to this 24,487. So that would also eliminate some of those bullish counts that we had, as this is a 1-2, as well as this diagonal to the upside. Basically, if we start to lose these low points, then the extensions within this wave are no longer valid. I'm still thinking that we're going to get pushed to the upside. It's just how deep we have to come here before we actually have that play out. If we do get this as a flat in here, or as a more complex move like this is a WXY, we would have to once again watch this retracement to the upside and see whether we get further extension, and then this whole move doesn't just become a bigger structure as an A, a B, and a C wave. So this is just something we need to watch out for, because these moves sometimes can just take a long time, especially if it is a 4th wave. They can sort of just bounce around and try and trap you either way within trades, and sort of just like move around. So I still am anticipating a move back down here, but we'll have to see how deep that actually comes. Okay, I'm going to leave the video there. There's a lot of options. If you need to have some more information on them, just go back in the video and check it out. I hope you enjoyed it. It is quite difficult to actually put all these things down in a video. I hope you appreciate that, and if you do, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. We're always happy to hear from you. And in the description you'll also find a link to the Discord. Like I said earlier, why not come check it out? It's free to join. Once you're in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff, and we'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. In the description below, you'll also find affiliate links to BYBIT and PrimeXBT. Great exchanges. We use them all the time when we're doing our trading. They have deposit bonuses if you meet the requirements, which can be found on the website. So why not check it out and see if it's your bag? And then basically, if you do use the affiliate link, it also does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. We will see you in the next video. Take care out there, everybody.